John arrived in Berlin on a cool spring morning. The air smelled of coffee and rain. "Today's the day I learned something new," he said. His plan was to take a woodworking class. "I have always wanted to make something with my hands," he thought. The workshop was inside an old brick building. A wooden sign outside read, "Berlin Craft Studio." John stepped in and saw tools hanging neatly on the walls. The air was full of the smell of fresh wood. "This feels peaceful," he whispered. A tall man in an apron greeted him. "Guten Morgen, I am Hans, your instructor," he said warmly. "Nice to meet you," John replied. "I am excited to learn." Hans handed him safety glasses and gloves. "First rule, respect the tools," Hans said. "Got it," John nodded seriously. They started with a simple project, a small wooden box. Hans showed him how to measure and mark the wood. "Always double-check before cutting," he advised. "Measure twice, cut once," John repeated. "Exactly," Hans smiled. John used a small saw to cut the pieces carefully. "Nice and steady," Hans encouraged. The sound of sawing echoed softly through the room. "It is harder than it looks," John said, sweating a little. "Good work takes time," Hans replied. They used sandpaper to smooth the edges. "Feel the difference?" Hans asked. "Yes, it is smooth now," John said proudly. "That is the beauty of patience," Hans said with a smile. Next, they nailed the pieces together. Tap, tap, tap. The sound was soft and steady. "It is starting to look like a box," John said happily. "You see, you are already a craftsman," Hans joked. They applied varnish to make the wood shine. The box turned a deep golden brown. "Wow," John said, "it looks alive." "Wood remembers the hands that shape it," Hans said. "That is a beautiful thought," John replied. "When you make something, you give it part of yourself," Hans continued. John nodded slowly, "Like art." "Exactly. Craft is everyday art," Hans said. They carved John's initials on the bottom of the box. "Perfect," Hans said proudly. "I cannot believe I made this," John said with a grin. "You made it because you focused," Hans replied. "That is true," John said. "It felt good to be patient." "Modern life moves too fast," Hans said, "but wood teaches slowness." "I needed that," John said softly. They took a photo together, holding the finished box. "Souvenir of hard work," Hans said. "And new friendship," John added. Hans laughed. "You are always welcome back here." John paid for the class and thanked him. "Danke schön fein, Hans," he said. "Bit schön," he replied with a smile. Outside, the air smelled of wood and rain again. John looked at the box and smiled. He wrote in his journal, "Hands make, heart learns." His 38th bucket list dream had come true.